Ladies and gentlemen, the fake UT, one with a decent orange and an even better smoky gray uniform, has humbly and graciously welcomed them Oklahoma Sooners to the great SEC, and they did it in phenomenal fashion, and they did it in the way that I kind of predicted. We're going to talk about a few things. We're going to obviously break down the game, take to you on a few highlights, lowlights. We're going to talk about if Jackson Darnold is the new laughingstock, the new DJU, to be absolutely taking a steam and polish on every single week. We're going to talk about that elite Tennessee defensive line. We're going to talk about the explosion of Tennessee's offense and shout out Oklahoma's defense, because when called upon them, they were being a large speed bump to this Tennessee offense. So let's get right into it. So first things first, before we get into any real analysis, Jackson Arnold might be the worst quarterback of all time. Okay, cool. Now that y'all have put your hate comments, of course that's not right, dog. Homie is a true freshman, completely putting this entire offense on his back. And like I alluded to in my preview of this week 4, I knew it was gonna bite Oklahoma in the back. So I don't want anybody to look at this true freshman 5-star coming into an Oklahoma offense that was last year pretty lethargic, to be honest with you, and it proves to be not so explosive without Jackson Arnold being the complete spark plug there. So you rely on that offense. You rely on one quarterback who's a freshman to try to catapult this offense against worse talent. When you go against a real defense, it's no shock to me that the outcome is what the outcome is. This Tennessee defense is no joke. This Tennessee defensive line is full of absolute savages. For as much a flack that James Pierce gets at an NFL evaluation level, my God, at the college football level, there's not any tackles that want to see that freak of nature. And not to only say that, but the rest of the big dogs. If you don't like James Pierce and his size, don't worry. Tennessee's got a full slate of other 6'5", 6'4", 6'3", 300 plus, 250 plus big, bad dogs just disrupting Oklahoma's offensive line. And let's be honest with you, Oklahoma has had a decent history even in the Big 12 days of producing good offensive line talent. I would dare say even better than Texas is, because I know those comparisons kind of come up there. But so to see that these aren't no slouches when it comes to offensive line play. This is just the real deal. I think it was great to see. This has been touted as a great defense and even a better defensive line. So just for them to see them to show up and show out the way they did, they really controlled this offense. Not controlled the offense, controlled this game, and were a big reason why Jackson Arnold just kept putting the ball on the ground. Can we talk about how they were just trading turnovers, just a fumble here, fumble there, balls bouncing? Jackson Arnold just kept giving the ball back. And at the end of the day, and this is where we kind of get out to shouting out Oklahoma's defense, right? Because at the end of the day, every single time, I'm talking about every single time, it felt like Oklahoma was doing something good, especially on defense. They got a turnover. They're making some explosive things happen, XYZ. It's like, and then they just cough the ball back up, and now they're back on the field. Or they get the ball back, and their offense just completely sputters out, and now the defense is back on the field. So don't get it twisted. Don't let the score for you. And now I know I'm recording as the game's going on. Look, man, we got to get these things up. I just don't want you to look at the scoreboard and tell the truth. Now, also, them 9 points, I mean, that's just field goals we're getting at the end of the day. But also, I don't want you to look at, what we've seen and just look at the scoreboard and say that, the defense just was the missing link. They couldn't stop anything because they were road blocking this offense. And to give them that credit, I give them that credit. To only give credit back, to homies out there in Tennessee. Oh, wow, I didn't even know. I guess he got benched. And then this homeboy was doing better. I mean, this guy was bad. He had Jackson Arnold had multiple fumbles. He went for negative 21 rushing yards. So that's not phenomenal. As you can tell, I stopped watching after the second quarter. It was over. I already knew the game was over. So I guess they did bench him. They put some Michael Hawkins guy in. Maybe that guy could spin it. Maybe, hey, 11 for 18, 131 and a touchdown. That looks like the guy can get after it. Okay, y'all might be in some good hands out there in Oklahoma if that's what y'all are cooking up there. But regardless, this game's over. They got 1 minute and 25 left. And I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to dogpile on Jackson Arnold because I don't think it's his problem. I think it was really more of an issue of Oklahoma thinking that they could run their offense completely through this true freshman, and this was the result of it. And back to the roadblocks of this offense, this explosive offense from Tennessee. Man, Nico looks so calm all the time. It really, early on, I specifically in the first quarter, it didn't really look like things were going great for Tennessee, right? It really felt like their offense wasn't the same. They wouldn't have the explosion. The run game wasn't there in the same way that they had. And hey, this is an SEC defense, right? A presumed SEC defense. So when you come to play and come to do these things, I think there has to be an adjustment of level for both of them. And there was a lot of hype. If y'all don't know, what's his name? Heupel, the head coach for Tennessee. He was a quarterback at Oklahoma, not just a quarterback. He took them to a 2003 national championship and raised that beautiful coach's trophy. So he's got a deep history with them. And then on top of that, through Heupel's offensive coordinator days as well as head coach days at Tennessee, Venables, the head coach of Oklahoma, has been able to see his offensive scheme a whole lot, and you could tell that, like, Venables, especially in the first few drives, like the defense knew what was coming, and that's what I was paying attention to most. Like, if you've ever played high school football, because you know me, I'm a top tier D3 player, almost D3 player. You feel me? But in all seriousness, if you ever played any type of football and you've gotten film, you've gotten those things and situations, right? You know when your coach like knows a team, like, oh yeah, they got you this, they got you that, they're giving you this tell, hey, they're gonna kind of leak over here and do that, and it's so cool, like when you see it happen and it really happens, and you could see it because there was this one specific play, and even the announcer said, I don't want you to think I'm like some football savant. It was pretty clear. You could see like they were talking about it, and it happened while it was happening. Like they had like this orbit motion come across, and they were sitting in a zone, so there was two overhanging defenders. Like there was one, a nickelback that was kind of over the side because there was a trips on the right side, and he starts coming over. He's about to make a, from 2x2 to now a trips basically on this side with his running back to a new 3x2. But they know what they knew what the what's it called motion was. You could see the I think it was the safety or nickelback tell the other DB, hey, we know what this is. And instead of moving, they just moved up to the line, and it was a reverse back straight to their side. Well, not a reverse, but it was a orbit motion, and then just a kick off to that side, and they were just right there. Like it felt like in these first few drives, like they had everything tied up. But man, Nico and Simpson is his name. Sorry, I would say Samson. Sorry, and hey, Deshaun Bishop is no slouch either, but Samson is the featured back, and he was really grinding that Oklahoma defense down, and ultimately I think his contributions to things is what made them kind of go over the top. It's similar to if you look at Tennessee's success. It's been through their running game. They are a run-first team. They are a running team with an identity, with just some explosion, and that's what we saw. We saw running, and then an explosive 66-yard touchdown. That was the really big, touchdown, a really big opener. But other than that, Nico was pretty calm, cool, and collective, and I think that's the most important thing because that defense was coming at him. It wasn't just that they knew what was going on. It wasn't just that they were playing good defense. It's that they were sending things at him. They were sending great blitzes and things of that nature, and I guess they continue. Oh wow, what's going on? This is getting nasty over here. If I record this video and Tennessee somehow or Oklahoma somehow wins this game, they're within 10. They have the ball. What is going on? Hold up. Can somebody tell me what's happening? They just scored a touchdown. Javonte Burns runs in for a touchdown. Let's take a look at these because when I started making this video, this was like 25 to like 3 or something, 25 to 6. Field goal, touchdown, safety, touchdown. Oh, I'm going in reverse. Sorry. Hawkins Jr. pass to 2-yard touchdown. Boom. 10 plays, 68 yards. 4 plays, 9 yards. 9 plays, 75 yards. It doesn't matter. They're within 10. That's kind of crazy. But No, kind of like I was saying, they were throwing a lot of things at them. So it was interesting to see. Hopefully they finish out this game and get it done. But the biggest thing here, and I think the biggest point is that Tennessee showed that they are the offense that they really are. Even bigger, that they are the defense that they really are. I think that this was, when you talk about how great Oklahoma's defense played, obviously, as you can see throughout the remainder of the the game, because that's the only reason why this is only a 10-point game. The fact that there was just field goals after when we got to the second half. This defense, which had seemed to be grinded down a little bit, it still had some life in them, and they found new ways to kind of take the next step there. So I think that's great. I think that's elite. We're looking at one of the most elite defenses. We're looking at another elite defense in Oklahoma. Let's not get them boys was flying around. They're physical. They can really get after it. But Tennessee is the realest dealiest. I think the scariest team other than Ole Miss and University of Texas. Shout out to you. But if me talking as a Texas fan, I think Tennessee, them 10 boys, right, with their atrocious orange color, because everybody knows burnt orange is supreme and sublime. Y'all lucky y'all got better alternates than us, because y'all win that one. Y'all win that one. Nico's a guy. Y'all offense is phenomenal. That defense is even more top tier. It's fun to see. So I kind of want to see where each of these teams going next, right? So we got Arkansas at Arkansas, then versus Florida. So two decent. Hey, Arkansas is a good team. Arkansas is a good team. Don't get it twisted. And then you got Florida, who seems like they have some life. And then the real big deal top tier test versus Alabama. You got Alabama at home. Hopefully they can handle business there. After that, you're kind of cruising for. Oh well, they got Alabama, and then 2 weeks after that they got Georgia. This is a crazy defensive a gauntlet that they got going on, right? You go Alabama, then Kentucky, which has one of the best defenses in the nation, and then you go to number 2 Georgia. We'll see if they're still number 2 out there. So they've got themselves things only ramp up for the Volunteers, so that's good to see. And then when we talk about them Sooners, look at their schedule. Next up, you got Auburn, and then right after Auburn, we'll see you in Dallas, son. Y'all be phenomenal. I appreciate you watching this video. Appreciate you hanging out with me. Please leave a like on this video if you like it. Dislike this video if you don't like it, man. Leave a comment below. Is your team undefeated? Who is your team? Where are you going with? What were your predictions? Was I wrong? Was I right? I predicted this pretty right, except I predicted the score to be a little more out of hand in Tennessee's favor. So shout out to Oklahoma for keeping it close and evening things up and even up the score. But rather than that, we'll see you next time. Peace.